Welcome to the Advise Show, Media, the Common Sense Approach. So the University of Missouri president has resigned after the football team joined in with a boycott from a student that went on a hunger strike because they were tired of the racial tensions that go on the University of Missouri. We're going to roll the clip.
Students throughout the system had criticized President Tim Wolfe for his handling of racial tensions. A fed-up student launched a hunger strike last week. The protest reached a new level when a group of Black University of Missouri football players refused to play or practice until Wolfe was gone. The move thrust MU into the national spotlight. This morning's Board of Curators meeting started with Wolfe at the podium calling it quits.
Use my resignation to heal and start talking again, to make the changes necessary, and let's focus on changing what we can change today and in the future, not what we can't change, which is what happened in the past.
It is our duty to win!
Students on the University of Missouri campus unite in cheers. After a week of sleeping in tents, protesting the president, and for one graduate student, starving, this is a moment of nourishment.
The administration refused to step in on our behalf and do things that they need to do to make sure that Black students, brown students, and all marginalized students are feeling safe and included on this campus.
The student group says President Tim Wolfe failed to address the racial climate on campus.
While he was in position, he was a businessman, and that is why we needed him out, because we need an educator where an educator is supposed to be.
This group says their list of demands are from a good place, a place of wanting to leave the university better than it was when they arrived, a place where students of all races feel welcomed.
We criticize Mizzou because we love Mizzou. We are not the same individuals that we...
Back at the Board of Curators meeting, Fox 4 spoke to Jonathan Butler's father shortly after the resignation.
We're tremendously proud of our son, and we believe that these actions will make this place a better place. Thank you.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty.
This group isn't slowing. Members demand an immediate meeting with the Board of Curators and Missouri Governor Jay Nixon to discuss what's next for improving racial climate here at the place they call home.
It should not have taken this much, and it is disgusting and vile that we find ourselves in the place that we do.
Let's give a hand clap, and I'm doing this for those students, and I'm going to tell you why I'm happy with them. The young brother that started the hunger strike. I know at first those people that's in control of that university probably say, well, that's him. But when the football team got involved, now you touching the money. You see, if those football players wouldn't have played, $1 million would have been lost. You see what happens when Black people get together and use what Dr. King said to use. You boycott them, cause them to lose money, because that boycott started just with all the Black football players. Nobody else was involved with that. Then the whole team got involved with it after the fact, including the coach and everything else. You see, they wouldn't have cared if that young man would have starved himself to death. They don't care about that. Only thing they care about is money. And it wasn't even a week of those football players boycotting that they sat that man down and told him he gonna have to resign. You see, this is what they was talking about. You know, they were saying justice or else. And I heard what the or else was when we went to that. And he said or else is what they did. Either give us what we asking for, or else you gonna lose some money. And they didn't want to lose $1 million at all. That football program, according to what I read, brings in $35 million a year. That's including sponsorships, advertising, and everything else. So if they don't play football, they don't meet good on their deals. So no, that wasn't about to happen. And see, Black people have to understand your power in America. You see, these young men exercise their power and look at the results. But you look at those NBA players with Donald Sterling, you're going to go out there and turn your shirt inside out and still go make Donald Sterling some money. Some cowards. And they got millions of dollars and they still are some cowards. These young men are strong Black men who encouraged their team to get involved, and then everybody wanted to join in on the situation. They wasn't cowards. They had scholarships. They could risk losing a scholarship because they did not play. But you know what? They wasn't cowards. They were strong black men, and they knew their power. It's the same thing in the NBA and the NFL. If black players say, we're not going to play, those institutions will fall overnight. Same thing with the music industry. If all black people say, I refuse to sign to a record label, their record labels will fall overnight, literally, because we're not getting involved with it. Understand something, black people, you make people in this country outside of your community billions and billions of dollars. And when you exercise your power, like Dr. King already showed us, this young man took the motto of Dr. King, boycotted, and you see the result. Now, they making some changes at the university, but they may not get the exact changes they want, but at least they got the president out. That's the main thing they was asking for. They had a clear-cut plan. This is what we want. You don't give us what we want, we're going to boycott. That's the way you do it. That's how you hurt capitalism with these people. That's all they understand. Then now the racial things they had going on over there, you had some savage wrote a swastika in feces on the dorm of a black person. They would call black people the N-word over there. The students, not people from the outside, the students. They would beat up black people at times. I mean, these issues kept going on at this university, and they kept reporting it to the president, and he wasn't doing anything about it. It must be a special kind of racism going up there in Missouri, because, you know, St. Louis, Ferguson, like, what's going on up there? I mean, y'all always talking about the South, and the South is so racist, and the South this and South that. Well, every time we look up, something going on up there in Missouri, and that's way up north. That's not down here in the South. I mean, you know, y'all have one lady wrote me a while back, told me we have a special kind of racism here in Missouri. You know, it's like 70 years back how they act up here. And there's a woman who was a doctor wrote me and told me that, how it is up there. But the thing is, we need to use our collective power that we have to boycott, to make changes, and you see how it's done. No crimes were committed. Nobody rioted. Nobody went to jail. No property was destroyed. None of that. And yet they got their result in less than a week. Think about that. I'm all for boycotting. I love to boycott because that's how you show your power. You don't have to do nothing illegal. Hit me up in the comments, use the commentaries, subscribe.